I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.
Hello fellow nerds and crafters. Today's video is one that I've had going for a while. I started off, I think, when I was just using my camera phone. So this is a 23-24-year-old bouquet that is my sister-in-law's. This is my first time using Magic Resin's deep pour casting resin. I was very nervous to do this because this is her bouquet from her wedding, and I was scared I was going to mess it up. It was originally dried just as is, which is why what used to be white roses, I'm pretty sure, are now pretty yellow browny colored. They were just dried by air. Her mom put them on a little styrofoam piece and glued each of the roses down to it with hot glue, so that was fun getting that off. So here I have Just Resin's glitter in Pixie Magic. In the mold currently I have a tiny amount of resin laid down that's already been cured. Now, there are a few things in this project I wish I had done differently. That was one of them. I was thinking that I didn't want any of the flowers poking out because the bottom side is my front side, so I didn't want the flowers poking out. So I put a little base layer down. I wish I hadn't done that. I'll explain more about that later. So here I am just trying to coat each of the flowers in the deep pour resin that I have mixed up with a little bit of that glitter in there. Another thing that I wish I had changed is I wish I hadn't put that glitter in there, because I tested it on something else before, but it was different resin. It wasn't deep pour resin, so it wasn't as thin. So as you might be able to imagine, it ended up sinking. My sister-in-law is happy with this. She said it was great, and everyone told me it looked lovely. I was still very disappointed in myself, to be honest, that I hadn't thought of that beforehand, that the glitter would just sink because the resin is so thin. It was light glitter, but it still managed to sink. So that's something I would do differently, I think, as well. So I'm just going through and I'm making sure all these flowers are as coated with the resin as I can get them before placing them back into this secondary mold, and I'm just gonna keep doing that until I have all the flowers in there, and then I will pour the rest of the resin into the mold and set that in the pressure pot to cure. I was also trying to get the resin trying to get it before it fully cured. I don't think I did that on any of the layers, so there are slight layer lines as well along the side. It's hard to guess with this type of resin, since it is supposed to take 48 hours, I think, to cure, something around that. So it was hard for me to get the right timing on it. If you do enjoy this video or resin videos in general, please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel because it is very helpful. Please comment if you can, even just like a heart or a face or whatever. It's always helpful with the algorithm to have people leave comments. If you have any ideas of how I can do this a lot easier and better if I was to do this again, that would be very helpful as well. I think that if maybe I had a vacuum chamber, that would have helped as well, because I think if you soak the flowers in resin and put it in a vacuum chamber or a bubble remover, it should pull out all the air from within the flowers and then replace it with the resin, which will help with any sort of bubbles. So once I have those flowers all done, I'm just going through trying to pick out any broken pieces of flower bits. And I pour the rest of the resin into the mold there, and then I'll put that in the pressure pot. For the little cup, you can see me putting all the extra bits into that cup, and I poured a tiny little M. I thought it would be cute for just a keychain. This didn't end up working. I think I left it out of the pressure pot and it had too many bubbles to be usable. So the next pour is also with the Magic Resin Deep Pour. Like I said, I didn't catch it at the right time, so it is fully cured between layers. So any bubbles that I happen to see, I just try to pop them and then fill them in with the magic resin, and I fill that all the way to the top and put it back into my pressure pot again to cure. So I demolded it here, and as you can see, the flowers are still sticking out the back. And when I flip it over, you can see when the light hits it, there's so much glitter. It will depend on the angle, but honestly, I was gutted when I saw that. I thought there was way too much glitter. I thought I'd ruined her bouquet. I was really upset. But I forged ahead because I had to. So I cut off as much of the flowers as I could on the back with some snips, and then I took this up to my brother's house where I sanded both the front and the back so that I could do a flood coat layer. So here it is, all sanded up, and I'm going to start with the front side, or I'm going to start with the back side, but the front side I'm going to pour some glue. This is school glue, and I'm just going to pour a layer on there and cover it up and let that dry, and then I'll move on to coating the back with resin. So once that's dry, this is what the back's looking like. I sanded it down, and I'm just going to pour a layer of resin to cover up the back. Once that's all done, this is what it's looking like. There are a few tiny little bubbles from the back of the flowers. I decided to leave those. They aren't going to be a problem. So I do the same thing for the other side. This time I will coat the backing with some glue, and I will pour onto the front side. So here's the pictures of the finished item. It is in certain lights not as terribly glittery to the front as it is in my pretty dark room. I'm a little bit disappointed by it. My sister-in-law loves it. Everyone else was happy with it, so I'm glad that she wasn't sad. If you enjoyed this video, please again, thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment if you can, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks, bye.